Tabisu Njoroge is my name, a counseling psychologist by profession. Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about the 5 pitfalls and how you can avoid them. And most young people spend a considerable time thinking of their lives. And when they think of their lives, they're thinking of various things, and these things include how they're going to form a stable relationship, they're going to get married someday, they're going to have a happy home. However, it's not the same for everyone. And some of those pitfalls, number one is people tend to live for the moment. And people say that you only will live once. Yes, it's true, you only live once. But what are the choices you make even as you're living that once? So how can you avoid that pitfall? You can avoid living for the moment by recognizing the seriousness and the sacredness of life and realizing that what you do now is going to affect your life thereafter. So even as you're living for the moment, what are some of the things you're doing now? How are they going to impact your tomorrow? Are you taking time to make the best use of your now so that your tomorrow will be better? Another pitfall that many young people need to avoid is trying out sex before marriage. And at times people tend to think that the measure of love or a relationship is the sex bit. But there's nothing like that. There's nothing like, let's measure if we really love each other. If the person is not ready to wait for you, you should as well run for your life. And how can you avoid this pitfall? One, you need to remember that you're looking for a life partner and not just a sex partner. And at times in teenagehood, many people tend to reason and think that we can just be friends with benefit. I'm not seeing any future with you, but we can try these things out. And how can you avoid this pitfall? Number one, on this you can avoid by refusing to be foolish. Trying out sex before marriage is just an idea. But if you have real love going for you, you do not need to worry about how your sex life will be. Because eventually when that time comes, it's going to be okay. Number three pitfall is cohabitation. And this is the aspect of living, or rather playing wife or husband with a person who you are not married to. And this is really happening. And people find themselves cohabiting in the name of we are going to one day start a family, but eventually it doesn't happen. And you put up with the person in short commitments. It's actually a short-term commitment. And if you really think of it, if you really think of the things that happen around cohabitation, you'll find that it is actually a time where the two individuals tend to really explore each other. They tend to do so many things like a married couple, yet they have really not committed. So how do you avoid this pitfall? Is do not be cheap and do not play marriage. Wait for that time. Patient. Make patience your friend. And time is your best friend actually. And if you're not able to wait, or if the other person is not able to wait, that is actually a red flag. And number four pitfall is being in a relationship with an expectation of changing the other person. And changing the other person, it only takes the hand of God. And many people go wrong when they think that they're going to form or get into a relationship and eventually change the person. And this is like getting into an aeroplane and you forget your parachute. You're getting into a commitment and you have forgotten your parachute. Or rather, you've gotten to that plane, you have just jumped out and you really don't have a parachute. So do not expect you're going to change the person. If you're seeing some red flags now, know that if you get married or when you get married to that person, they are really going to just magnify more. So if you're not ready to put up with some things, at this moment, at your friendship stage, at your dating stage, kindly just walk away. And how can you avoid this pitfall? Do not expect to change someone after marriage. Whatever you're seeing now is exactly what you're going to get. So don't live your life with wishful thinking that, oh, we don't go to church now, when we get married we're going to start going to church. If things are not happening now, that is exactly what you're going to get. And the final pitfall for this particular video is falling in love for all the wrong reasons. And it is easy for young people to fall into the pitfall of being in love with someone else for other reasons other than the one factor, that is friendship, love, and wanting to stick with that person no matter what. It is commonly seen that people tend to be in love, or rather fall in love, for wrong reasons, like sympathy, for money, for social status, for acceptance, for approval by others, for sex, and also so as to fit into the society. I need you to ask yourself, where are you in that relationship? Where are you with someone? Are you there for all the right reasons, or for the wrong reasons? And realizing the reason, or rather the need that you're trying to meet. And if you don't sort out your baggage, if you don't sort out the unfinished businesses, that baggage, you carry it in the relationship and it wears you down. So how can you avoid this pitfall? Is you need to take your time. There's no punishment of being more cautious than others, and being with the right person for all the right reasons. Having a clear conscience about yourself and clearly thinking it out. You do not need to be in a rush. You do not need to do things because other people are doing it. You do not need to be somewhere because the society is trying to dictate. So, in conclusion, we have talked of 5 pitfalls. And these pitfalls, if you're able to think through them, if you're able to analyze them, if you're able to think deep within yourself, you're actually going to be in the right space for yourself. So remember, we have said the first pitfall was living for the moment is a pitfall. Number 2 is trying out sex before marriage is another pitfall. Number 3 is cohabitation. Number 4 is being in a relationship with an expectation of changing the other person. And our final pitfall for this video was falling in love for all the wrong reasons. So thank you very much for listening. Evaluate yourself. Remember to like, to share this content, and to subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful time. Kwaherini sana. Bye.